All right, I'm gonna add a few more export features, and the three that I'm thinking of is export as version, export as PowerPoint, and then export as a packaged workbook. We'll cover the packaged one last because it does take a little bit of thinking. Okay, so the first one is export as version. Right now, Tableau do a fantastic job of constantly updating their software, and especially since the Salesforce buyout of $15.7 billion. Do you, if you bought $15.7 billion of like potato cakes or dim sims or chips, do you know how much chips that is? I'd really want to do a a Tableau visualization on how much food you can buy with $15.7 billion. That is a lot of quarter pounders, right? And with these updates comes different versions of Tableau, right? And the system that they have is there's three major or four major releases each year. So we are now on 2019, right? Year 2019, and every quarter they release a new version, right? Whether the quarter starts on January 1st, I can't remember, but right now I think we're sitting at 2018.2 or point 0.3, right? And let's say you're an organization and you have a lot of you have a huge workforce. You have like 100 or 200 people using these licenses. You don't constantly want to be upgrading all of them all the time because, well, if someone has a later version, then an older version can't read it. So you want to kind of schedule a big update for everything. So in that case, if you do have someone using an older version, you can convert an existing workbook to an older version. And it's very simple. We go File, we're going to go Export as Version, and then from there you can select the version you're interested in. And as you can see, you have that 2019, point 1, point 3. I think point 4 is excluded because it's the point 1 of the next version. I think that's how it works. And before 2018, it used to be called 10.5, and then 2017 would have been 10, 2016 would have been 9 point something, right? But it only goes as far back as 2018, 10.2, which is good. You don't want to encourage people using super old versions. Actually, the other day I saw someone using a version 8 or something, and I was like, upgrade your computer, man, right? So you do that, you can export as that version, and then that's it, right? So that's pretty simple. The other method of exporting is, let's say I've got all these sheets, I'm ready to show my boss and ask for that awesome raise. Okay, I can go export as PowerPoint, right? And this is, I believe, a newer feature. So if you got one of the old features of Tableau, it doesn't have this. Okay, so I think that's gone ahead and saved it. Let's go look for it. All right, there it is. And when I open it up, it's going to have, I believe, a title and then the sheets that I had in my workbook. So I got book one, file created, and I can edit this. Then from there, I've got all my dashboards with some comments at the bottom, which I can always crop if I need to, like so. Okay, this is not a PowerPoint course, so you don't have to know this part, right? But I can do that. So after PowerPoint, we have the very last option, which is export as packaged workbook. Now, this is a little bit trickier to understand. Now, why would you want a packaged workbook? Well, here's what it does. Let's actually clear everything on the page. The way we set up our Tableau is we have a data set, okay? Let's say it's Excel, and that file exists, let's say, on the desktop. And Tableau interfaces or connects with that data set. So let's say I've got Tableau over here. Okay, let's call this T, right? And information is flowing from one to the other. Okay, that means if I delete this, right, Tableau won't work anymore. Okay, so what a packaged workbook does is, actually, let's reset that. I've got my data, right, and I've got my Tableau, right, as two separate entities, if you will. A packaged workbook packages it together. Okay, that way, when I email this or when I send the entire workbook over, I don't have to send two files. I don't have to send the Excel file as one attachment and then the Tableau working file as another attachment. Well, I mean, it's only two files. What's the big deal? Well, soon in the expert stage, you will learn that Tableau can have many, 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 many connections, right? So we have our Tableau here, and they could come from different places. This could be Oracle, right? This could be Excel. This could be CSV. This could be a text file. This could be SQL Server, right? This could be Salesforce, this could be SAP, right? And you can't really send all of these. So what we can do is we package them, right? We do a massive extract, right? And at the end of it, we just have a single file that we can send over to someone to say, have a look. And they don't have to worry about, setting up the connections, because obviously there's a pathway to these files, especially if it's servers. There's destinations. You got to do your service names. You got to determine all your security settings. It's quite a bit of work simply to show someone the work you've done to get feedback, right, or to report on the results. So packaging it together is a great way to just condense the whole thing, right? So let me show you how we do it. It's actually very simple. Let's go into Tableau. I can go File, Export Packaged Workbook, and it's going to ask me for a few options. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. It does it directly, right? And you're going to see this new format, Tableau Packaged Workbook. I think in the past it used to be when you did this, it would ask you how much you wanted to extract, right? It may still ask that. So let's put this into, let's say, downloads. Let's call this Packaged Workbook and go Save, right? And there we go. I think the reason it didn't ask is because it's already connected to my data set. If you have, sorry, it's already connected to a rather small Excel file. If you're connected to like a server that has like a million rows, I think it does check because you're either in a live connection, or it's probably because you're in a live connection. So that's most likely what it will do. If you have large data sets with a live connection, it's going to ask you if you want to filter it first. Otherwise, it's going to go ahead and use the extract or the data file you already have, right? So those are 3 methods for exporting your data. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.